Hey, I'm in my my wine room. This is a cool room in my house. I didn't plan it that way. It just came with my house. It's very cool. These are all old mailbox slots from an old mail house. But I want to show you one thing in particular right here. This is the Pride and Joy. It's a bottle of Grand Cru from Chateau Soutard, but you'll note that it's dated 1986. When I was in France last year for our 30th anniversary, I picked up this bottle because 1986 is the year that my wife and I were married. I'm going to hold it, and we're going to open it on our 35th anniversary. And for that, I get tremendous husband points. All right, I got a great question that came in to ask Jeff. You can send your questions, ask@jeffshore.com. More than happy to help you through whatever you're working on in the sales world, whether that's a technique issue, a mindset issue, or my favorite subject, buyer psychology. Send me a question. We'll be happy to answer it here on Ask Jeff. And the question that came in this week is, Jeff, when do we give up? How do I know when to give up? And we've all heard the idea that you want to stay with your customers until they buy or die. And like, I get it, it's clever and all of that, but I would rather look at it a little bit more strategically along those lines. So the idea is it helps if you're thinking through something of a hierarchy of goals. What are you trying to accomplish? And obviously, you know, you want that sale, and you want that sale as early on in the process as you can, as soon as that customer is able to make a decision. Because the longer somebody stays in the process without making a purchase decision, the fact is the less likely it is that they're going to buy. Long buying cycles actually diminish the chance that a customer is going to buy because it gets them further removed from their initial emotional attachment to the product. So our first goal here is to get them to purchase right away, even on that very first visit. If that doesn't work, then what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure we get that next appointment before they leave on that same first visit. So here's the hierarchy of goals. The first goal, get the sale. The second goal, get the return appointment. The third goal, if that's not happening, is to feed them information that will make the decision easier for them and that will continue their emotional investment. So when you're thinking about your follow-up work, if you haven't gotten the sale and you didn't get a return appointment, you should be thinking about, how do I feed information that's going to keep them emotionally engaged? Remember, the longer the more time that elapses in this process without making a decision, the further removed they get from that initial emotional appeal, and that damages the sale. So what do we want to do? Feed information that keeps them emotionally engaged while we're striving for another appointment. And if that doesn't work over time, then what are we going to do? We're just going to keep them in the loop. We're going to use our CRM system, and we're going to keep them in the loop so that we can constantly give good information so that when the time is right, we are here for them. I don't know that there's ever a time that you want to give up on a prospect. I think as long as it still is a prospect, I think what you want to do is stay with them, even if you're able to do nothing more than just drip information on a regular basis through your CRM. But stay with them. Just stay with them. Stay with them until they tell you not to stay with them, essentially. But listen, if you're doing it in their best interest, that's likely not going to happen. You're giving them valuable information. You can't just keep calling them and saying, so are you ready to buy now? So are you ready to buy now? What do we want to do? Keep them engaged. So brainstorm, think through what that looks like. What can you do to stay in touch with people and continue that emotional involvement? The more personalized that is to that customer, the better off you're going to be, the more effective it will be. But in any event, you want to think, how do I keep that involvement going?